Awake in the morning and I step outside, I take a deep breath and I get real high and I said, hey, what's going on? Well, what's going on is I am a fool, a wayfaring stranger, travelling through this world below. That's the heart, internalise it. To that bright world to which I grow. So, onions, lettuce, can't remember, but they need thinning out. More lettuce. Can't remember. Coriander, mince, there's peppers, there's dill. I can't remember what that is. It's a herb. It's a salad vegetable. Then we've got various other plants. More planted here. Some more here. Even more here. More here. Even more in there, which is now full. And some more up there. Let's go on a walking tour. I want to first off give a shout out for a most brilliant analogy, and that is to Paul of Dove and Serpent. Let's get the name right. Dove and Serpent Tarot. And he used the analogy of the Coyote and Roadrunner in that cartoon. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. And wow, did that sort of open up something wonderful just by hearing that, because it all then sort of unfolded in the mind's eye. What is that cartoon really about? Well, let's consider the Roadrunner. It's on the move. It doesn't hang about. Whatever the Coyote does, it may be painting an entrance of a tunnel in front of a constructed brick wall, but the Roadrunner always seems to sort of outwit the Coyote, and of course that tunnel becomes real and the Roadrunner passes through it. The Coyote tries to follow and doesn't end well. Normally ends up in dropping down a ravine in a cloud. But the part that Paul mentioned was when the Roadrunner runs off the edge of a cliff. Whilst the Coyote is focused purely on chasing that Roadrunner, he comes to no harm. But when the realisation sets in, that's when he starts to drop and ends up disappearing down the ravine, and you get that little cloud, and then he comes back and does it all again. There's a third element that you don't actually see. You see the product of it. That's that Acme tool company or whatever. That represents the material realm. Orange trees here. And a lemon tree in abundance. Oop, another orange tree. Yes, so the Acme company is a representation of the material world and man's solutions. I mean, the products do work, but they always seem to backfire on the Coyote. So the Roadrunner, as is shown in the cartoon, does some things that defy this reality, like passing through painted tunnel entrances was no problem. So the Roadrunner is clearly not of this world. What actually is this Roadrunner? Well, another word for a road would be path. So we're on a path now, a little bit overgrown. This is right down the bottom of the valley. So this corporate entity, this Acme company, will just keep supplying to the Coyote. The Coyote will just keep making the same mistakes over and over again, trying to problem solve this reality. Don't know if you can hear the stream in the background. We're sort of at the limit of this end of the land, so we'll head back. So the Roadrunner really represents the journey of the soul, the direct path just passing through this world below, referencing Wayfaring Stranger song. So if the Coyote can just stay focused purely on the path of that Roadrunner, he won't keep coming into these difficulties and having to effectively reincarnate and do it all over again and make a whole load of new mistakes, because it's all problem solving from the conscious mind. And of course, what invariably happens with a coyote, it ends up with a fall. It's the fall of man being represented effectively. And that's all stemmed from listening to a tarot reading. Thank you, Paul, for that. And as I said in the comments, I'd give your channel a shout out. And one to be recommended. You get 2 readings a week. But don't shoot the messenger in either his case or my case. Take what resonates for you. I made a video yesterday saying, I don't know how I'm going to get through this week with about €3.40. But in all that, it was interesting. I'm no far from being an expert in anything astrological or predictions. But the beauty in the timing, it was the last day before Mercury goes retrograde. And I held the feeling, how would I feel if these problems were resolved? The picture that is being shown to me in the external of you're running out of food, now straight away the conscious mind will try and problem solve that. And it will be channeling energy into worry and concern. Well, thanks to generosity of a few people, I've had some donations which has turned things around. I've earned a bit of money with mentorship. I've earned a bit of money this morning within the community sorting out some growing beds for Keith, because he works part-time, so he doesn't have the time or the inclination at the moment, which is fair enough. You're not here to kill yourself or anything in this life. It's here to be observed and enjoyed. So that's one testimony I want to give you. It's like you just go to the end, like Neville Goddard says, you hold that feeling. Going back to that song, I haven't actually mentioned it yet. 4 Non-Blondes, I'm in tinkering with the lyrics. And I say, I am, and I say, we're heading for an evolution. It's all imagination, which is creation. That's all you need to do. Start your day. Before you physically move, just plan your day out. Vision out by going to the end of what sort of day would you want to look back on. I'll give you another testimony and also something else that has come out of the event. This was last Sunday, the 17th. I've mentioned it before. It's just outside a place called Silvestre in Portugal, called a Quinta. And they have open mic sessions, so anybody who has any sort of musical inclinations, or maybe singing or playing an instrument, can perform. And the local group who write some really good original songs called New Moon, I shall be featuring those in a future video. The I forget the lady's name, who's like the lead singer. But because it was St Patrick's Day, she's got a green top hat on, and she looks fairly similar, especially with the addition of a hat to the lead singer of Four Non-Blondes. So into my mind came the thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if they did the song What's Up, What's Up? Within 15 minutes of that, a lady who lives local sang that very song, and I said to her afterwards, I said, oh, you've got to tell me the backstory. How did this all come about? I said, because I want to say thank you. You've been the messenger or the agent of delivery of the song. Now that entire process was all in thought. The only sort of material, physical outplay was at the very end with the performance of the song, and it was fabulous. The energy and everything at this venue. It's been going for 25 years. So that I'm putting that forward as a testimony of imagination and thought and intention can create reality. I mean, how beautiful the timing of all that. What a beautiful demonstration. But there's also this magical feeling about this place. Now, I couldn't say that everybody that comes along to these events and maybe has a meal, has a drink, and enjoys the music is, so we say, on a spiritually enlightened path, but they have good energy. And beyond that, what I'm also seeing, you feel protected there. This open seating area is protected and surrounded by trees. It's got a beautiful feeling. So what I'm suggesting here is, through creation, through art, through the medium of music, and you can actually feel this through the ground. You can feel the bass from the bass guitar and things. So we're talking about vibrations. So this has gone down into the roots. And the energy of this venue is just magical. Talking of magical energy, here's a challenge for you. I invite anybody to come here. Spend a week, maybe longer. And you haven't got to do anything. You can just chill out. Get away from the matrix world. This is how noisy it gets here. It's tranquility. It's so peaceful. You're in nature. You've got the fragrance of the orange and the lemon trees. It's tranquil. It's so uplifting being here. So there's an open, I've said this before, but there's an open invitation and a challenge. Maybe after a week you'd say to yourself, I don't really want to leave here. I want to stay. Or I want to take the experience of here and start that somewhere else as well. Who knows? But for me, it was a fantastic move, and that came about by going to the end, putting into practice what Neville Goddard says, and I kept it very loose in the visualization. It's how would I like to feel? Well, certainly in a climate that I find the most conducive, the most agreeable to this physical being. And I've certainly got that. So I kept it fairly loose, no real stipulations, but involved with nature. See, the constant theme with this spiritual path is about balance. So I feel I have achieved that because I wish to help people with the mentoring as much as I wish to be learning through the growing, through going through all these experiences. And in many ways you could say forget YouTube channels and things and just observe nature. That teaches you so much. It's just phenomenal. But these magical moments are getting more and more. I was sent, or I was recommended, and it was on my list to watch the latest video from Lavette, and I would certainly endorse listening to what she has to say on there. It would certainly do you no harm, but I feel would be a huge benefit. I'm not going to say any more than that. But that's all good. And a piece of really good news. Julia from Simplicity Revealed, she put out an appeal. Biggie had hurt himself. He's now 11 years old, her faithful little dog, because he likes to leap about and he sort of hurt his back legs. So I said to him, look, you're getting old. You've got to slow down a bit like the rest of us. Because if you've seen the little video Julia made, and I've seen this for myself, he understands words, definitely, or the energy in the words. So I did a bit of healing on him on Sunday morning, and the beauty of doing Reiki healing on dogs or cats is they just get up when they've had enough. They know when they've had enough, but they just stay there until that point. They're easier to work with than humans. And then Max came back. He's in a bit of a sorry state. He's lost an eye, unfortunately. But see that as a reference as much as anything else as to let thine eye be singular and filled with light. I'm not saying that all my sort of material realm problems are resolved. The situation can come up again until I've got a consistent sort of regular income coming in, just for the interaction with the material world. But each time it's just hold that feeling. Don't give in to the, what's the saying for it? False evidence appearing real, fear. So it's like, oh no, I'm running out of, and having that lack mentality and shit, what am I going to do? And that's the thing to really transmute. And likewise, the invite to coming here. If you're feeling you've got anger issues and things, it's like, okay, don't bring your shit and drama here. But by all means, do take it out on the bramble. Although even bramble, I can find a positive in that, because if you see where bramble grows, it means that the soil underneath it is really good. It's really always really dark. Bramble seems to grow in some of the best soils, so it's not all bad. It does break down over a long period of time and make really beautiful black compost as well. So again, you can perceive the thing as something negative and an obstacle, but it does have a positive to it, and it comes back to finding the balance. It comes back to being the observer in this world. And as we climb back up the hill, whizzing through my mind is the song Wayfaring Stranger, where it gets to the verse, I know the path is long and steep, but beautiful fields lay before me in this bright world to which I go. But where are you going? It's the opposite of what this material realm will use as a phrase, you ain't going anywhere. Well, that's exactly it. You don't need to be going anywhere because it is all within. As the song Wayfaring Stranger says, I'm travelling through this world below. It's not external of you. It's something inside you. It's the heart. We're at that midway point. The material realm. I mean, the closer you get to the surface of this, it is atmosphere. you can see that portrayed in all the stories on screens and things. Most of them are scripts of fear, things to be worried about. But of course you rise above, in the metaphorical sense. It is all about experiencing it. It's all about observing, seeing the contrasts, and then the resolution of those contrasts, how it all comes back together. So that's a couple of testimonies for you. And again, a reminder, anybody that would like mentorship, if I can help you anyway, then the door's always open. I can only give you a perspective from my own experiences of what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. It's the same with the visualization. There's two schools of thought on that. If you look in the Anastasia playlist, in, I think it's the first series, the man that, I can't remember the names now, but the man that narrates this story of Anastasia, he does the manifestation and visualizes a car, but he doesn't put enough thought in it, so when you get in the physical form, what manifests is half a car with only two wheels on one side. So in many ways, it's keep it more fluid, keep it more simple. Maybe don't be that detailed and that specific in the thing you wish to create and manifest from the thought and the desire. But whatever it is, see it through to the end. And this comes back to a story that Neville Goddard would tell often about his brother. For 2 years he walked past this warehouse, and in his mind he saw J.N. Goddard and Sons. And it became a reality right in that last moment, right on the day of the auction, at the start of that day. That didn't even seem possible, but it happened, it came. And that is all from imagination, staying true to the bullseye, seeing it through to the end. It takes nerve, is another saying. And the expression about lost your nerve. I mean, what is the physical body full of? Nerve endings. It's full of nerves. It's your internal tree of life. It is like your root system. Hold your nerve. Hold that energy of whatever desire, whatever thing you're trying to create, either for somebody else or for yourself in this reality. I trust that what you're actually wishing to create, though, will be benevolent. I'm not going to say not self-serving, because we all have needs for these physical bodies, and I'd be completely lying if I said otherwise. But it's reciprocal, because what keeps me going then helps me to try and pass on to you experiences I've been through, things that will inspire and help you through. Maybe you're going through similar things that you can perceive as a problem. I nearly slipped up there and I nearly said problems, but they're not. They're perceived problems of something that's not actually here at this very moment, but they pass. I'm not saying this is easy, because the feelings are still there. It's not they're denied. They're not being suppressed. They're acknowledged. But those negative feelings lessen. And the etymology of that, the lessons in life, maybe the lessons in life are just purely that, the lessening of the negative feelings that take hold of us and then run amok. And we're back to going to the Acme company to solve all our problems, which will probably backfire, and we'll end up in the cloud or a cloud, and then recycle back in to do it all over again. But why not make it a pleasurable experience? Make it see the world you wish it to be, and If everything is external, is a reflection, something I've created, well, I think I've made a bad job of this then. I'm going to take credit for that. There is co-creating, obviously, with the things that are underway. But the saying is Rome wasn't built in a day. But build it and they will come, build it and they will come. That's what keeps being said to me, so that's what I shall do. It's about taking active steps and finding that balance, thinking out the box, doing things differently. This reality is all about trying to put you into a box of very narrow perceptions of you can only do this job or you can only do that job, your role is this or your role is that, when you just look back in history, people were far more multi-skilled. So it's forging a new path that's totally different, and it has to be this way. How can I give testimony of everything unless I put myself through the experiences? It's something I've said before on video. I will not advocate anything that I have not put myself through first. So at the moment I can't talk about orange juice fasts or lemon juice fasts because I haven't done them. But as and when I do that, then I will be sharing the experience and how it felt to me. And then it's up to you if you want to try these things for yourself. So that's today's video. Hopefully it has inspired you, given you things to ponder, to weigh up inside yourselves, hopefully unlocked some doors, given you hopefully some perspectives that may give you a way, something that you may perceive as an obstacle, and it's like, that gives me a way around this, that is no longer an obstacle. I've overcome the challenge. Ultimately, we're just overcoming our lower self. All those that little voice with all the negative doubts, the part that wants to stay safe in that comfort zone and stagnate. But then we don't grow. We don't spiritually grow if we do that. So it's being like the road runner. It's constantly moving, whizzing through, but not whizzing through so fast you can't enjoy it and appreciate it. So you could say that time has a very positive aspect when it feels slow. If you can get yourself into a tranquil setting, create the world around you that you wish to be in. So I think that's a good place to end this video here and say love to you all, and thank you once again for the donations from the bottom of my heart. That really does help, and it'll get me through at least into April, but I'm not exactly extravagant. So anyway, love to you all and hope this video has helped you.